Welcome. Build Out here. Super excited about this video. Today's video is called PMO Leadership, the Art of Influence and Collaboration. I love this topic because here's the thing. As a PMO manager, are you tired of struggling to get your project managers on the same page? Or maybe you're just juggling personalities or deadlines or executive expectations and you feel like the chaos will never end, right? Well, you're in the right place today. Because in this video, I'm going to break down how top PMO leaders use influence and collaboration to build high-performing teams and drive project success without micromanaging or burning your employees out. Who am I? Well, if you're new here, my name is Bill Dow. I've built and ran PMOs over the last 20 years in some of the world's top complex organizations. My first PMO was 2002, 2003, so it's been a while for sure, and I still run a very large PMO today. And the one thing I've learned is you can't lead a PMO by authority alone. It doesn't work. It takes influence, it takes empathy, and it takes collaboration to get real traction, and that's what this video is all about. So let's jump into it. First section, the evolving PMO landscape. Let's dive into that. I want to be clear, the PMO role has changed. The old school command and control model, that's not great. Like, it's great for checklists, but it's terrible for agility, innovation, right? You have to balance that because today's most effective PMOs are strategic partners. They're not just policy police. You do need policy. I want to be clear, right? But that can't be your whole PMO. PMOs are embedded in business strategy. They support agile delivery methods where applicable, right? They drive cross-functional alignment, right? So there's lots of great things about today's PMOs. So to thrive in this new landscape, your leadership style has to evolve as well. So let's jump into mastering the art of influence, right? So how do you actually influence without forcing, right? You have to build credibility and trust. That's number one. Your team won't follow someone who's just checking boxes. I've learned that over many years. You've got to get your hands dirty. You've got to understand the business. You got to show up prepared. You got to know the projects, right? You have to be calm in chaos. And that's how influence begins. Calm and chaos, right? The other thing, number two, really is about leading data and not being emotional. And the other thing about that is I love data, and I've learned PMOs have a ton of data. Executive teams don't respond to someone's gut feelings. They respond to facts and data. So using dashboards, using risk heat match, using portfolio performance data to influence decisions of your PMO. Tools like Project Online, Power BI, Jira, and of course there's hundreds of tools out there, right? But they are only used to tell stories, your PMO data story. Number three, you have to communicate with clarity and confidence, right? Tailor your message to your audience. Executives need different insights than PMs would need, right? Text versus graphics, that comes up all the time, right? You want to use the right language, outcomes, ROI, business value. Don't just talk about processes. Talk about the impact your PMO is making. Influence isn't about being the loudest voice in the room. It's about being the most credible voice in the room, right? And you do that with your data. Number three, fostering collaboration within the PMO. This is critical. A strong PMO doesn't run on tools. It runs on teamwork. I see that all the time. So how do you do that? You have to build a diverse and high-performing team. Hire for the complementary skills that your PMO needs and you can see will need in the future. Bringing in project managers with different backgrounds, right? Tech backgrounds, operational backgrounds, product, right? They create a space for great innovation and great growth in your organization. You want to create a culture of open communications, right? No one should be afraid to raise a red flag, right? Regular stand-ups, having retrospectives, one-on-ones aren't just for agile, right? They're for leadership essentials. I run a monthly PMO office hours where they come in, they just talk to me, and they raise up their concerns. Use collaborative tools for is a strategic advantage as well, right? Teams, Confluence, Smartsheets, Miro, right? They just don't buy the tools. You use them. Enable collaboration. Make it easy for PMs to share updates, documents, and risks in real time. True collaborations happens when people work together, not when they're forced to work together. Think about that, right? Number 4, empowering your project managers. Here's the truth. You don't empower your PMs. If you don't do that, you're just a bottleneck to them and they'll go around you, right? I've seen that happen. You have to give them decision-making power, right? Let's go even with the small stuff. Teach your PMs to own the outcomes of their project, not just the task list. Think about that. Think about the PMs owning what outcome that project's going to bring. That's huge. Mentoring and support their growth. Offer coaching, offer mentoring, offering buddy systems. I've put that in my books for years. Help them prepare for their next level. Do they want agile certifications, program management certifications, risk management certifications, whatever it may be? As a successful PMO leader, you're measured by how many leaders you grow, not just the projects you deliver. Think about that. You're growing your organization all the time. Build a framework for continuous improvement, right? Conduct quarterly retrospectives at the PMO level. How well is the PMO doing? Capture lessons learned across the board. Feed them back into onboarding and process playbooks, right? Take survey data and feed that data in as well. Number 5, leading the way to success, right? Your job isn't just to manage the PMO, it's to lead your people into the future. So you want to track and share PMO performance information, right? Don't assume executives know the value you bring. You constantly have to be showing them. Highlight your on time, your budget, your strategic alignment, your ROI, your business value, right? Look for opportunities to optimize. You've got to be constantly growing your PMO. Is there a process you can simplify? Is there a tool you can get rid of? Is there a report that no one reads anymore? You can get rid of that. Lean PMOs win. Bureaucracy PMOs will die, right? It just happens. You've got to stay adaptable. PMOs that resist change become irrelevant and they go around. So you got to stay curious, you got to stay flexible, and you got to keep evolving what the business needs. Okay, let's wrap this up. I said a lot. You can't build a strong PMO just through templates and forcing people to do them. You have to build it through your people. You have to influence them, you have to empower them, you have to collaborate with them one step at a time. You have to keep moving your PMO forward. You need a PMO roadmap for that. I've got lots of information on that. All right. If this helped you be a better PMO, if you've taken a PMO leader, if you've taken any of this, let me know in the comments below. Hit the bell, subscribe. I'm launching these kinds of videos all the time. I'd love to understand your biggest leadership challenge in your PMO today, and I'd love to talk to you about it. Thanks for watching. Remember, real PMO leadership starts with real influence, and that starts with you. Thank you, and I'll see you online. Thanks.